Well, from the looks of it, seems like you'd be a good fit for the team. Welcome aboard. Hey, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Before we get started, I'm just gonna need your signature real quick. Oh yeah, of course. Let me just... Wait, what was that for? Perfect, thank you. This is just basically signing your soul away. No big deal. Anyways, welcome to the team. You're gonna love it here. I hate this job. Get me out of here, please. Hey, Divalicious Baddies, welcome to or welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is B, short for Bran. And recently I quit my fast food job that I had for almost 4 years. Yeah, it was about damn time. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about my experiences and some stories and all that. Yeah, I don't really have much of an intro for this. I guess let me clear something up before we get started. Just real quick. When I say toxic workplace, I'm not referring to my coworkers. My old coworkers and I got along pretty well for the most part, and they were not the problem. The problem were two things: customers and upper management. Let me explain. Hi, welcome sir, what can I get started for you? Yeah, just give me a pizza with olives. I want extra olives. Oh, unfortunately we ran out of olives for the day. I'm really sorry about that. Could I get you something else? What? You guys don't have olives? What kind of a pizza place doesn't have olives? You guys are literally that useless, that incompetent? I drove from like... Let's start off with the customers. When you work in fast food, or any service industry job for that matter, just be ready to deal with the stupidest people on planet Earth. The amount of times I had to walk someone through the menu and then walk through it again because they weren't paying attention the first time, it's mind-boggling, really. Also, sometimes people could just be really rude, like for no reason. I worked at a pizza shop where their main thing was creating custom pizzas on the fly for every customer. So you would order your pizza and walk down the line as you pick your sauces, your cheeses, meats and vegetables, all that, right? Nothing too crazy, nothing too complicated. Also, I know there's very little places that do that, so you could probably take a wild guess where I used to work and you would probably get it right. But I'm not gonna confirm it for you for legal reasons. But I swear to you, some of these customers had a type of audacity that I did not know existed. Like, okay, so this is one time this lady wanted extra mushrooms on her pizza. I was like, no problem. I got a bigger handful of mushrooms than we usually do and I put it on her pizza. And then she said, more. So I got a bit more and put it on top of her pizza. And then she was like, more. Got a bit more and put it on top of her pizza. And then lastly, she said, more. I'm sorry, do you want the whole container of mushrooms? Like, did you want the whole pound, like, just dumped on top of your pizza? Like, girl, please. Do you want a little bit of side of pizza with your mushroom entree? Like, girl, what the f is this? Then there was this other time that a customer asked if I was Armenian. I said no. Then he asked if I was sure. I said yes, I'm sure. And then he asked, oh, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm Mexican. And he was like, well, that's cool, dog. And I was like, thank you. Very not important to what we were doing, but sure. We kept going, and then right before I charged him, he asked, are you sure you're not Armenian? Bubba, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to change my ancestry, change my DNA, or like, what is this? Like, I was confused. I was like, yes, I'm sure I'm not Armenian. I'm sorry about that if that causes any form of disappointment to you, but yeah, very weird interaction. Then there was this one guy one time, he ended to jump over the counter and end my employment and my life because we didn't have extra plates. Hold my hand with the paper napkin in between when I tell you that it's never that serious. Homeboy was ready to commit a murder because we didn't have extra plates. To anyone that's watching this, I want you to know that it's never that serious. We had pizza boxes. You could have grabbed those. But no, I think it was easier for him just to commit a murder. Anyways, yeah, if you ever plan on working in fast food, which no one ever does, and yet we always end up there in one way or another, just know that it takes a special kind of resilience to deal with these people. Because it's either the rudeness or the audacity or just a bunch of things piled up together that just makes your job a lot harder than it should be. A bit of advice I could give to you, just always remember to try to stay calm, take a breather, and try to go through it as best you can. And always remember, worst case scenario, you could always slap them. For legal reasons, I have to say that that is a joke. But one thing that was worse than the customers was for sure upper management. Okay, looking at the sales numbers here, how many people do you really need to close on a Saturday night? Well, typically we need 5 to 6 closers because it gets pretty busy on those days. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you 4 closers. But that's less than what I asked you for though. If you give us only 4 closers, we're gonna be severely understaffed. And no, but hear me out. I believe in you guys. Like, I've seen you guys do so much work. And like, you guys are so good at it. So I know you're gonna get by with just 4 people. And besides, how else are we supposed to buy our 3rd yacht? Come on, don't be selfish. Thankfully, the 2 general managers I had during my time at that store were pretty cool, and they were the ones that were there constantly, so thank God. But as for the upper management, we're gonna go ahead and call them corporate. I'm not gonna be using names or pronouns just so it's impossible for anyone to ever find out who they are, because your girl doesn't want to get sued. For context, I just need you to know that the place I worked in was like in this mall shopping center type thing. Again, being very discreet and ambiguous. Anyways, and both the location and upper management brought us problems. Of course, you know the upper management only cares about 2 things: image and profit. So it doesn't matter if you say you're gonna jump off a cliff, what matters is that you do it with a smile. Henceforth, toxic environment. Like, I remember one time corporate came in to visit, and yeah, we were pretty understaffed. We got a middle of the day rush. It was just like, I think 3 of us, and it was pretty bad. And I wasn't giving anyone attitude per se, but I was giving them like the fake customer service. You know, the "thank you so much for coming by, have a great day." Like, you could tell I was in pain, right? Or so I thought. Because after the corporate person was done with their meeting with the general manager, they came up to me. And I was like, oh, here comes, they're gonna say something. You know what they said? They handed me a $5 gift card to a coffee shop that shall not be named, and was like, "I really love your attitude. It's so real and so genuine. Keep that up. Us at corporate love that." Okay. I didn't know what to say. I was like, "Thank you." Grabbed the card and like just walked away. Also, $5? Dude, you're corporate. At least 10. You can't even afford a small drink with $5. And maybe that was the point. Maybe it was meant to be a slap in the face. Like, here's a gift card. I know you can't afford anything with it. There also was this one time where we had a plumbing problem. Like, on good days, the water would go down slowly, like when we were washing dishes or something. And on bad days, water would literally come up from the drains. No, I'm not talking about clean water, obviously not. I'm talking about sewer water. The worst day was when water was regurgitating from every drain. We had like 5 drains. Every drain was spewing water. To the point that when they stopped, we were working in about what was an inch of sewage water. And it stunk. You could smell that shit from the dining area. It was that bad. We called the mall/shopping center to see if they could do something. They said, no, it's not our problem. Even though we're renting a spot in the mall/shopping center, how is this not your problem? But anyways, I digress. We called corporate and they asked, you know what they asked us? They said, "Are you still able to serve pizza?" We were like, well, yes. They said, then keep serving pizzas. There was no, hey, take a 30-minute break, see what you can do. There was no, hey, go ahead and close early and see if you could fix it. Nothing. And guess what happened? People started to complain. They said that they were gonna report us and call our corporate and see if they could get us shut down because it smelled disgusting in there. Rightfully so. Girlie, I was on your side 100%. Like, I thought it was insane that they didn't want to let us close early or do anything about the fact that we were working in almost 2 inches of sewage water. I don't remember if we called them or they got a call. They essentially let us close like about 30 minutes early. Crazy. I know. Crazy. But also, like, what did you expect? Like, it smelled disgusting in the whole restaurant. Who do you think in the right mind was gonna walk in and be like, it smells like a great time to buy a pizza? No. Everyone walked in, got a whiff of that, and walked out. Rightfully so. It's crazy what these people will do for money. Also, was one time I used the elevator to take out the trash. And the thing about this elevator, I don't think it's ever been replaced since the opening of this mall/shopping center. So it's old as fuck. So when I took it down, unfortunately, I got stuck. Like, the door would open just a tad, but like it wouldn't open enough so I could get out, right? I called my coworker because maybe he had more experience in this than I did, so maybe he could help me out. And he came down, and unfortunately, no, we couldn't figure it out. We had someone else that was still in the store call security. We were like, hey man, like sorry to bother, but one of my coworkers is stuck inside the elevator. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll send someone right now, no worries. We were there for 15 minutes, give or take a couple minutes, but no one showed up. And you know what? I was sad. Not because no one showed up, but because like we were gonna buy milkshakes after work and they literally closed in 30 minutes, and I was upset that we were gonna have to waste more time in the elevator. So I was sad I wasn't gonna get a milkshake, not the fact that I was gonna be stuck there all night. I didn't care. Anyways, so after waiting a bit, we decided to tinker with the door a bit more, and we've eventually discovered a fail-safe like knob that you could just twist and it would let the door open. Why, you might ask? So if the elevator floor is not level with the concrete floor, the door will not open. Unfortunately, the elevator got stuck a bit underneath the floor, so therefore that's why the door wouldn't open. The only reason that it did now is because we found the fail switch that essentially overrides the command of not opening the door unless it's level with the floor. A lot of words, I'm sorry. So we walked back up, we finished doing our cleaning duties, and then we left. But before we left, we got a call from the security. Keep in mind this call came in about 30 minutes after we had first called them. And you know what they asked? Like, hey, we just want to check, is your coworker still in there? Is he still stuck in the elevator? That shows you how helpful mall security can be. Cause like, what do you mean? Keep in mind, the mall/shopping center was closed at this point. There was basically no one in there except workers. So what were they doing that was so important that they couldn't just send someone to check out the elevator and at least tell me, hey, everything's gonna be okay, here's a snack? Nothing! They could have just easily sent someone within minutes. But no, 30 minutes later, they still called to see, hey, is he still in there? Guys, and they get paid more than we do. Good to know. Anyways, so yeah, it's crazy what these people would do for money, or just to not do their job in general. Anyways, before I send you off, I just want to tell you a little something. If you ever find yourself working in purgatory, I mean working in a fast food restaurant, I want you to know that it's going to be okay. This is just temporary. You're going to work here just to get a bit of money to carry you through, but you'll eventually be gone. It's not forever. And always remember that I'm here for you. And always remember, if need be, you can always clock a bit. Again, I must repeat, for legal reasons, that is a joke. Anyways, Divalicious Baddies, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Hey, did you hear the news? Can I help you? They're getting sued. What can I say? Karma's a